Hey guys, what's up? So today we're going to be looking at hire purchase, all right? And it really should be considered higher purchase, meaning like higher, like a higher price, because majority of the time you're going to end up paying a lot more if you decide to use hire purchase, okay? So let's look at the definition. It says this is a system by which one pays for an item in regular installments while having the use of the product. So you get the product to use, but you have to pay it off between like a 24-month period or a 36-month period. And it says in this agreement, the customer may choose to make a small deposit or down payment, right? Then the remaining balance is repaid with interest in equal monthly installments. Okay, cool. So that's pretty much what a hire purchase is, guys. I'm sure you have heard of this before. Maybe your mom or your dad have gone to like courts, right? So courts or Ashley. Um, where else? Yeah, PriceSmart. PriceSmart is a good example as well. Um, where they go to these like, for example, Ashley's a furniture store. So let's say, for example, you need like a bookshelf, right? And the bookshelf costs like $100,000. But instead of buying it all right now, you decide to pay $15,000 a month for 12 months to pay for it. So you pay more each month, but you get it right now and you get to use it, right? Or you go to courts and you decide to buy like a couch, right? And the couch really costs 150,000, but you decide to pay $10,000 each month for 36 months. Okay. And yeah, so these are pretty good examples here. So this is the bookshelf here, right? And cool. So for the coach, if you pay 36 payments of $10,000, right? Then you're gonna end up paying 360,000 over 3 years for the coach. But it's kind of really convenient to just pay $10,000 each month, right? So you basically pay for the cost of two coaches, but you may really need a coach if you just move out, or if you just started a family with your wife or your husband or whatever, you may really need a coach. So you may not say, "Oh, let me save up for the coach," because you can't sit on the floor. You know what I mean? You can't sit on the floor. So you may need a coach, and it's okay to do these things sometimes, but I'm totally against hire purchase. But if you have to do it, you have to. You have to do what you have to do, right? So same thing with the bookshelf. You really need somewhere to put your books, and you can't put the books on the floor, right? So you end up paying 15,000 for 12 months, and the 15 times the 12 should actually give us what 180,000. So yeah, you should get 180,000. So instead of paying 100,000 cash up front, you pay 180,000 instead for the bookshelf, right? So you end up paying 180,000 for this bookshelf, and you get it right now. You get to pay the $15,000 each month, and you get it now. So a lot of people do this for cars as well. Um, but cars are cars are more like it's pretty much a higher purchase, but I wouldn't really call it a higher purchase. That would be more a loan, but it's very similar to a loan because you pay interest on it. It's pretty much the same thing. But people do this for cars as well, and people do this for like very expensive items. Okay. All right. Cool. So let's look at an example now. I think we should look at two examples. Then we can kind of break this down and see exactly what a hire purchase is. Cool. So let's look at this example. This is the first example we have. And it says, at courts, you see a Samsung TV for $100,000. If you decide to pay cash, it is 15% below the mark price. And if you buy the TV on hire purchase, then you pay a down payment of $20,000 and 24 equal monthly installments at $7,500 each. So it says find the following below: A, the cash price; B, the hire purchase price; C, the difference between the hire purchase and the mark price; and D, the percent interest charged on the outstanding balance, right? Okay, so let's just do the first one. Let's calculate the cash price, okay? And in the question, it says that if you decide to pay cash, it is 15% below the mark price, and the mark price is the selling price, the $100,000 it's selling for. So the cash price is equal to 100 minus 15, right, percent of the mark price, right? So it's actually going to end up being 85% of the selling price, okay, or the mark price, same thing. So it's going to be 85 over 100 multiplied by the 100,000, and the answer is 85,000. Okay, these two zeros cancel these, and 1,000 times 85 gives you 85,000. Okay, awesome. So you see how cheap it is when you pay cash? Cash is king, guys. Cash is king. All right, always better to pay cash. All right, so now we're gonna work out. So let's just write the answer here, 85,000. Okay, and now we're gonna work out the higher purchase price. So let's just clear the bottom here and do that part now. All right, guys. So we're looking at Dino, which is the higher purchase price, right? So higher purchase price. And the higher purchase price would be, obviously, it would be the deposit and the 24 monthly equal installments, right? So let's write that the deposit plus the monthly payments, right? Cool. So that should be equal to 20,000, which is the deposit amount, plus it's 24 monthly payments, so it's 24 multiplied by 7,500, right? Cool, and 7,500 multiplied by 24 is actually 180,000, so you should end up with 20,000 plus 180,000, and this is equal to 200,000. All right, so you notice this is significantly higher than the 85,000 cash you would pay, right? But it's still not too bad because all you have to do is pay $7,500, make the deposit, and you're paying $7,500 every month, and you get your TV. But is this your pick? As in, personally, I don't think I would do this for a TV ever, because I mean, this is just kind of ridiculous. But people used to do it a lot back in the day. And people still do it now. People still do it now, guys. So this is the answer. All right, 200,000. You'd end up paying 200,000 over 2 years for using the hire purchase method. Okay. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to C. All right, guys. So we're looking at C here, and remember the hire purchase price was 200,000, right? And great, and it says find the difference between the higher purchase and the mark price. Okay, the higher purchase price. So remember, the higher purchase price is 200,000, right? I want to find the difference between the higher purchase price and the mark price, which is the 100,000. All right, so let's write marked price here. So we're actually going to end up with the higher purchase price, which is 200,000, right? Minus 100,000, which is the mark price. So this should actually be just 100,000, okay? So that's the difference between the mark price and the higher purchase price. So even if you bought this, with your card, then right, with the debit or your credit card, you'd pay 100,000 cash. Well, not cash, credit, right? Yeah, so you could use your debit card and pay the 100,000 or your credit card, and you still end up paying less, $100,000 less. So once again, guys, try to avoid higher purchase. Make sure you know how to do it on your exam, all right? But try to avoid it in general. All right, so we found that one, and that's 100,000. That's the difference between the higher purchase and the mark's price. So let's do the last one here. All right, guys. And one last thing, guys, just to note, this 100,000 is also the interest charged, right? The 100,000 is the interest charged on the outstanding balance. And that makes sense because if it's just $100,000 for the TV, the extra $100,000 you pay is the interest, right? So you're basically paying 100%, almost 100% for the item. But you do make a $20,000 deposit, so you're really just paying a lot. You're paying almost more. You're paying more than 100% for this item when you really maps it out. So it's just rough, It's just rough. But the 100%, I mean the 100,000 extra is the interest. That you're really charged when you choose the higher purchase method. All right. So let's look at the last thing here, the percent interest charged on the outstanding balance. All right, guys. So we're gonna do Dino, and the first thing we need to find is the interest charged, right, and the outstanding balance. Okay. Okay, so basically we need to find the difference between the 180,000, right, we pay, which is the monthly payments each month, the 24 multiplied by the 7,500. That's what this is. So we need to find the difference between how much you pay for the 24 months and the interest charged, which is the $100,000, right? That you're charged, because your charge is $100,000 and you pay this 180,000, right? So right, so that's the interest charge and the outstanding balance. Okay, so you're gonna end up with 80,000. Cool. All right, so okay, so excluding the deposit you made and the $100,000 for the item, because you're gonna have to pay 200,000 for the higher purchase, So excluding the deposit you made and the interest that you're gonna have to pay, this $100,000, you have $80,000 left. Okay, so we need to find this $80,000 as a percentage of the outstanding balance. Okay, so as a percentage of this 100,000. So to find the percentage interest charged on the outstanding balance, percentage interest on the outstanding balance, it's actually equal to the 100,000 divided by the 80,000, which is the interest charge and the outstanding balance, the difference between those, okay? And you multiply it by 100, and you end up with, let's cancel these two zeros here and these two zeros here, and you should end up with, right, you should actually end up with 125%, okay? Right, so basically what this is saying is that you pay 125% on the 80,000, right? And that makes sense. If we multiply the 80,000 by 125 over 100, we're gonna end up getting the 100,000. Let's cross these out and cross these. 800 times 125 should give you back the $100,000 in interest that we have to pay. So, right. So basically, the percent interest charged on the outstanding balance, right, is 125%. Okay? Right. Yeah. When you maps it out, because remember, it's $200,000 for the item, right? And you pay 20,000 upfront, so you have 180,000 left, right? And you pay $100,000 in interest, so minus that $100,000 from it, and you're gonna get 80,000, right? So when you find this 80,000 as a percentage to the interest, right? The interest charge to the outstanding balance, which is the 80,000, you'd get 100,000 over the 80,000 multiplied by 100, which would give you 125%. All right, guys? But don't worry, we're going to do more examples like this, so you're going to get used to the style of questioning. And I'll see you in the next question, guys, or I may give you a real life example. I think I want to give you a real life example for this, so you can realize that this is in your everyday life. Okay, guys? All right, guys. So we're here on the AT&T website. All right. I wanted to give you a real life example of a hire purchase. Okay. So if we look here, we're seeing the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, right? And it's saying $33.34 per month, right? But that's not really the price for it, right, guys? Like everybody who know how the thing goes know that the real price is probably about 750 US, right? Or about 800 US. But they are saying here that you can pay $33 for 34 months to get this phone, right? Is that saying 34 months? Yes, guys. So it is 34. So you can make 34 payments of $33, right? And when you multiply that, the 34 times the 33, right? You actually end up getting $1,122, okay? So you end up paying $1,122 when you could have bought it for $750 or $800 cash, right? On Amazon or wherever, right? So I'm just trying to show you that this is what AT&T, Digicel, and these companies do. They set you up on these installment plans, which are really higher purchase plans, and you pay higher for the purchase. Okay, that's really how it ends up. And yo, it really works out though, because what's $33 to somebody in the United States, who is earning $60,000 a year? Nothing. Like it's not anything. That's probably 2, 3 coffees for the month. So in the US it really works out, man. Like it's just so good in the United States. But in Jamaica, dude, don't try this. All right? You might go to Digicel and pay 20 or $15,000 a month for S10. I wouldn't advise that. Buy it cash. Buy it cash, bro. All right, so let's go to Amazon and look at the example there. Let's go to Amazon and look for the S10 Plus there, right? And okay, so unlocked, it's going for $7.99, right? So yeah, and some other choices are even $7.19, so $7.49, for used and others. So you can find it for really low if you just buy it cash. So I'm not advising against higher purchase, but I'm just showing you the trick here. You're gonna pay that interest. And in this case, you actually end up paying, let's just work out the interest in that case. We're gonna subtract the 800 US from the 122. So that's 1122 minus 800. And this would be 2201 here. 8 minus the 11 will give us 3. So you end up paying $322 in interest over 34 months. So 34 months is a long time though. 34 months is actually 2 years, right? 2 years and 10 months. Okay? So, it really works out because the extra 300 US in the US, the extra 300 US is really not too bad to pay for this phone. But you're not gonna get these deals with Digicel, Brethren. You're not gonna get these deals with Lime. You may get it with AT&T, Sprint, or those providers. But if you live in Jamaica, I advise you avoid this higher purchase thing, man. Buy the things cash. Save your money. If you don't have it, just do without. That's what I think. And save and buy them used. You can buy it off eBay, you can buy it off Amazon. But I'm just trying to show you the whole vibe of the higher purchase thing. And we're gonna do some more questions in the worksheet. So let's get to it, guys. Let's get to work. All right, guys. So that's it, and I'll see you in the next lecture. And remember to do your best, and God will do the rest.